difficult situations because you have a lot more space to think and you're not really held back by the anxieties that you normally would be facing, if you don't have that level of confidence.
Yeah, that's something that I do have to agree with, and it looks like the strategy of attack all around didn't really give them all that too much to start with, just 4 points at Bermuda, but they sure as hell bounced back at Kalahari, taking a massive 25, and now the second spot overall. That's a really good spot, but it's technically not where they wanted to be because they don't want to be at the top too early. So I don't know how that's going to work out for them. I guess they didn't expect it, and now they have it, so they're overjoyed, but let's see if they get a little too confident with this. But Expand surely looks very confident, spreading out through Golf Course as well as Villa. This is just a little too much widespread if you ask me, because they're not even playing the buddy system. Everybody's alone.
Yeah, this is going to be highly unusual, but then again, maybe, sticking together didn't work out for them in the first couple of maps, so maybe they wanted to try something a bit different, but to do that in the middle of the grand finals, I'm not sure. Maybe they have some plans down the line. We'll have to see as it goes. King of Gamers, though, already picking up that first kill onto Kal from First Raiders. So First Blood already claimed up on the board right now, even before things have really gotten to an explosive start. So, nevertheless, though, we're still sticking with King of Gamers, who are 3 members up on the north side of Ski Lodge. Should be a good place to loot up there. I did see during the drop early on that Sem9 almost was going to be dropping in the same place as Divine was, which was on the high tier loot zone, but unfortunately, they decided to pull back from there, instead electing to stay around the outside of that loot zone so that they can catch any of the members of Divine who happen to step within their territory. And speaking of territory right now, this looks like Flash's own territory right here at the edge of the safe zone that Shut Up seems to want to keep a close eye on.
It's nice to see that Expand did not go hunting for the blue circle once again. It would have been quite messy with 3 teams within that vicinity this time around, but them spreading out doesn't seem to be a bad idea as well, since no other teams are in or around their vicinity to punish them very early on. But EARENA, they don't have much of a compound or defensive compound to play with. They are out in the open, very early game, which means they're going to have very little loot on them, very few glue walls. So if they do get caught in a battle, we might just see them make that exit pretty early.
Yeah, so the best bet really is to try to steal loot from someone else, but look at Flash rolling straight in, taking down Protete, and just making sure that he has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. So, wow. I mean, that's the boom and zoom that I really expect to see a lot of teams do, right? Just basically jump in, get the kill, and just as quickly get out.
He fought that like his name, like a potato.
Though actually, I think that's a pun on protege. But potato.
No, like a potato.
Potato.
That's the pun I want to see. Bio catches up with Shut Up as well, shutting him up perfectly. But that's not the end of EARENA just yet. They do look at this guy. Takes him down, goes to the same exact vending machine, and gets himself a better shield. Fantastic maneuver by Team Flash. And they are taking control of this revival platform as well. So EARENA, if they're in or around the vicinity, they're not going to be able to get their team members right back in here. EVOS, Divine on the other hand. First strike onto Newbie. They managed to take that kill as well, and they are on the hunt for more.
Well, they're making Box is just making full use of the Barret as well. Sam13 has a Barret of his own, so this is going to be quite hard for Sem9, and Raja is going to have to pull back as quickly as he can, but then is he going to run into the crutches of another squad? Watch out, the rest of Divine are already moving in a box, leading the charge as he attempts to try to find Raja, the last member I could see here of Sem9. I think there's another member just further down south, so that's bringing that's an insurance policy that Sem9 has in case things doesn't work out here with Raja. But nevertheless, though, EVOS already has 1 point to their name.
And I think I did manage to see that the moment that Sem9 player went down, he was instantly revived. So it's nothing to shout about, really, because you get brought back in, you just have your secondary, and it is going to be a little bit messy for you to take that drop right back into the vicinity of the rest of your team members, because you guys are getting hunted down right now. So Newbie, we will have to catch up with him a little bit later on. But now Sem9 Zen OP with a high ground disadvantage, I have to say, because he's all alone. If he gets knocked down here, there'll be nobody else to save him. He is trying to back Raja up as Raja makes his way up, and Newbie actually dropped together with Ashura, and that's going to keep him safe for the time being. They do have EVOS Divine all circled already, but look at Divine. They're sending out 2 guys to circle around, flank from the right-hand side. So worst case scenario for EVOS Divine, if things do go south, they only lose 2 players. This is such a well-taken fight by both both the teams.
If you remember what I said during map number 2, it's very risky to split up fights like this. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what Sem9 essentially did here. They have 2 people on one end and another 2 people looting another zone, and now this is coming to bite them in the back here because EVOS, you know, they started as a squad, and now they can afford to take these split fights much more effectively. So you can see already MRO5 and his teammate Bien, it's already up on the higher ground compared to where Zen OP is, which is putting him at a massive advantage. In fact, they're already starting to fire upon members of Sem9, and now Zen OP is going to try to get return fire. Actually gets down Beyond onto the ground right now together with his teammate MRO5, and now EVOS is scrambling to try to get himself back into play, but Zen OP is rushing forward with a katana, only get gunned down in his prime by Sam13's sawn-off shotgun.
That was just the perfectly timed shot, and Sam will be able to bring Beyond right back up onto his feet, and that will allow them a little bit of time for Mr. 05 to be saved as well. Apex is going to be the next one, and EVOS Divine are once again a full squad. That attack by Sem9 was just a little bit too careless. I mean, why would you run in straight up towards a full squad behind the glue wall with no vision whatsoever as to what's happening behind them? I don't know, man. It's beyond me. But Sem9, they'll have to pay for that with the survival gameplay from Ashura and Newbie. I don't know about Newbie, but Ashura surely knows how to survive and bring the team right back in here. And he's the one who's further away. So the probability of Sem9 surviving till the next few circles might still be there.
Yeah, I think as long as Shura plays the longer game here and just goes with the revive point here, I think Sem9 can still have another chance to fight back. But again, they're going to be quite far behind given this is already coming to the 3rd circle. So still plenty of squads out on the map right now as EVOS have Newbie completely surrounded. I think Sam13 is going to find him completely. In the meantime, Expand gets himself eliminated by Team Flash just off screen. So that's another major team getting toppled down from the get-go. So Flash, I guess, are already starting to put some revenge actually onto some of the teams that slighted them during the league stage. But to see it Expand is the first one to get eliminated right now kind of worries me a little bit, given that they had a really tough time in the first 2 maps so far, and this is only going to stumble them a little bit in this progress of trying to maintain a good average score for the entirety of this grand finals.
Yeah, we were just talking about averages earlier, and now they kind of bite the dust a little bit too early. But it's all right. We've got 12 rounds max. Wasting 1 out of 12 is not something people want, but it's something that they can still recover from. SPS ALFAINK, they send one straggler out to do the research gameplay first. Bara gets caught in the open. Beyond has got eyes on him. First shot does not take it down. The second one sure as hell does.
I mean, the towers are basically traps designed to contain grenades that get thrown down from atop. So that was just a really bad position to be in. And says ALFAINK are just struggling to try to hold their own, though, against EVOS Divine right now. Sam13 looks like he found one person caught up in the middle of the blue wall. He's going to try to bring his teammate back up, but no! He had to dodge out of the way there because says ALFAINK's not giving them any room to breathe. The time turner comes up, but it's not going to save him as JoJo finishes them off.
Fantastic play by SES ALFAINK. One was the only sacrifice they had to let go of earlier on, but they still should be able to survive and buy their player right back. They do see a vending machine right here in front of them, but King of Gamers might just be the ones who stop them halfway through. But we still have to wait and see if not King of Gamers do have any of those snipers and long-range engagement capability. SES ALFAINK not taking any risks whatsoever. Instead of running straight up for that vending machine inside of the circle, they're running towards the one that is outside. I think that's pretty smart.
Yeah, I mean, just go where your enemy isn't it? So just by staying on the outside, just riding the blue zone wave, so to speak, they should be able to pick up some additional loot that other teams may have left behind. But nevertheless, for the others who are already smack dab in the middle of this safe zone, like King of Gamers right now, it's just mostly a game of like watching your six and making sure that you have a good position. Though I'm not too sure. I mean, again, this spot is good given it has some elevation down towards the south side, but they're going to be left a bit exposed on the north side because they don't really have any information from anyone moving in that direction. But nevertheless, speaking of movements right now, First Raiders is on the move along the edges of the safe zone, while Flash getting themselves into another fight. First, they already won against Expand. Now they have to face off against NIGMA Galaxy.
Yep, and Fugod just circles around towards the right-hand side. Dew attacking straight up from the front. I believe he's got a woodpecker right in his hands. That's going to be able to bust through some of those armor that Flash already has picked up and purchased for themselves. So this is quite the predicament that Team Flash has gotten caught in. And now they're all all circled into one small compound. A couple of grenades can do the job, but Stop has got absolutely none. Whips out the Woodpecker, has got a shotgun as well. Long range, short range, he should be able to get the job done. But Team Flash has been able to engage and quickly disengage and go for cover extremely fast. Now they have been able to save themselves, but the question is for how long more, Victor?
Yeah, this thing with the light machine gun constantly hounding them, and then the throwables right now putting a stop to Stop right now. I wonder if they're going to be able to hold on for much longer, because this fight is dragging on a little bit too much right now. They need to find a way to finish things off, but Flash is not really backing down from this fight either. So this is going to be a hard-fought victory here for any of these squads here as they now rush into the building here. Duke leading the front lines, trying to get a knockdown, gets a knockdown, and indeed will be able to finish things off here, finishing off Flash, leaving them out in 10th place.
Well, NIGMA Galaxy, they surely want to show their fangs a little bit more now. And Sem9 unfortunately bites the dust, as well as Bara finds the final player out there on the battlefield. It's about time we saw NIGMA Galaxy rise back up to the occasion here and show us exactly what they're capable of. The ex-world champions for Free Fire. They haven't really been showing their fangs just yet, but that's a good start. Can they carry this all the way into that final circle? We still need to wait patiently and see. King of Gamers, high ground advantage, bird's eye view on all of this impending action down below. Can they take some long shots though?
Well, attack all around, actually jumping around on top of EARENA. This is going to be interesting. EARENA not quite ready for this fight, though. They're forced to bring out the glue walls as the rest of attack all around jumps in. Folky is going to be taking a huge brunt of it, damage right around the outside, while the rest of EARENA tries to huddle in the cabin that they already had control of. But how much control can they have? In the meantime, Dio actually getting himself into the fight as well, taking down Kikoro from a distance, and that actually becomes the downfall of AAA as they attempted to try to take on one team. Another team came around and disrupted their little assault.
And EARENA has just been absolutely popping off. Not a lot of kills to show for that. They've been getting those knocks though. Now, Protete takes Caramel out of the equation, and NIGMA Galaxy going to bite the dust as well, courtesy of EARENA. EARENA manages to find the next one in terms of engagement. It's going to be Fugod from afar. He's been knocked up already, and Fugod responds, shut up down on the ground.
Yeah, the Dew is already outside in the blue zone, and I think the rest of them are just getting slaughtered on the front here as the blue zone continues to envelop the rest of this fight. But FIW God still alive up until that point when Orgus brings out a grenade to end his run right there and then.
He doesn't have a glue wall to protect him. Any shots towards EARENA now can be absolutely deadly, but nobody's there to take advantage of those open players going in for those revivals, those pickups. So EARENA will continue to survive this. They've got a full squad ready for this next action. EVOS Phoenix, though, they are about to rise. They have awoken out there on the battlefield, but Team Heavy wants to pull a couple of points for themselves as well. 18 points in total so far from the first two matches. It is absolutely imperative for Heavy to get the top two spots now.
You remember who was the one who took out EVOS Phoenix the first map? It was Team Heavy, so I think EVOS might be coming in with this a little bit emotional, I think. But look at that, EARENA not resting on their laurels, are actually trying to encroach onto Phoenix's area here while they're still focused on the outside. Look at the car coming straight towards Joanna, but he is starting to bait it. Still gets the sniper shots in. The time turner is still keeping him up alive, and he's going to have good space right now to try to get a revival back in. But EARENA, conversely, are just completely surrounding them around his cabin here, trying to find a killer. Moshi coming around through the window, trying to shoot down EARENA, who unfortunately find himself trapped inside. And Kino Gamers the whole time has just been taking pot shots from the outside and become your kill leader right now on the map.
EARENA gets taken out of the equation, and Moshi doing two things at the same time, picking up the rest of his team members as well as shutting down his opponents. Heavy safe in the final circle, and King of Gamers has held on to that high ground advantage and managed to disengage from a lot of those Heavy firepower, but taken pot shots against everybody else. They now lead this lobby with the most number of kills, but in 20 seconds, all chaos is about to erupt, and EVOS Phoenix, they need to start moving, and they need to start moving now.
But the problem is, once they move out the way, King of Gamers is going to have free reign to shoot them from a distance because they have control over the bridge. Now, the thing is, the bridge is not within this next safe zone, so they still have to face off against Heavy should it come down to that time. But for now, they can still continue to stand up while King of Gamers slowly makes an exfil towards the north side of the circle by using the glue walls for cover. And it's going to be a bit of a slow progress, though. Yeah. But they're going to be hoping that Heavy is still a bit tied up, trying to keep EVOS Phoenix under control. And EVOS, in the meantime, though, doesn't look like they have a lot of cover to begin with.
Yeah, King of Gamers way too lucky in this circle, because when you're going down the slope and you're pulling out all of those glue walls, it means absolutely nothing because your head is still exposed, but nobody's focusing on them because EVOS, Phoenix, and Heavy are too busy trying to take each other out of this game before getting into the next circle. Therefore, King of Gamers will secure the final circle. Mochi gets a knock. No kill coming through that just yet. Already has got the Mag 7. Pop after pop. He gets a double kill, and he continues to move on forward. But King of Gamers now, they want to get involved as well. This is just all-out chaos between the three.
Yeah, two members of Heavy is still around the outside here, so they're facing a two-way battle. Oh, the glue wall just got busted down, forcing them to use up the last ones here. I think there's only one more level mill now, but unfortunately they're going to be both taken down. So now it's King of Gamers versus EVOS Phoenix, who's going to come on top. A huge maze of glue walls now set up in the middle, and it's going to be absolute chaos from here as they try to find the kills. Already taking one on Osaka. Knight77 trying to go around the outside. He's completely out in the open as glue wall breakers are already out, making one entire area here completely toxic for the King of Gamers, and they scramble to try to regain control, but they're already two people on the ground. Knight77, Kevin77 still trying to get shots down with the sniper rifles as the others just gathering around wondering what the heck do we do? We can only hold on for dear life as EVOS, they fall down to the ground. King of Gamers takes the booyah.
But the Phoenix needs to wait a little bit more before it can be reborn. King of Gamers this time round, they really step it up. First match 9 points, second game at Kalahari was a letdown as they only pulled away 5. But King of Gamers this time, baby, not only do they get massive numbers of eliminations to their name, but also the booyah for a little bit of extra fame before we head on into a cold map of Alpine.
Whew, wow, I mean, it was absolute chaos from beginning to end. I have to say, once you got to that third circle and everyone was just crowded around, it seems like fights were just breaking out left, right, and center. So it's really tough to keep your head above water in that instance. But King of Gamers definitely benefited from having a very good positional setup. I mean, being up on that bridge gave them plenty of high ground. Granted, it didn't give them a lot of cover, but because the other squads down on the ground were focused on each other, that gave them the advantage, allowed them space to maneuver, and they made the most